So today's topic is about nature, and I want to talk about why nature is important through the lens of mindfulness. Research suggests that regular time in nature increases focus, boosts mood, and reduces stress. So I want you just to imagine for a moment your life with just a little bit more enhanced mood, shall I say, intentional mood, reduced stress, and what that might feel like for you, and that it is accessible to us through nature. I want to finish reading that because if we journal about that, which is another powerful mindfulness process, so just kind of journaling and chatting, and capturing some of those things, it reinforces these benefits, creating a reflective space that enhances well-being. So again, I want to read these so you get them. Encourages creativity and strengthens a sense of belonging, which is the foundational level of safety for our brain. So I want you just to imagine, again, your life with that and think about ways that we can immerse ourselves in nature just a little bit more. And thinking about, first of all, what does that mean for you? Some of you, I look at some of you on this list, and I kind of know the area that you live and work, and that it is surrounded by nature, big, wild, beautiful nature. And then I look at some of you, and I know you live in very urban areas. And so nature might feel and look differently, or need to be more intentional, or nature might be that little bird that landed on the telephone line, or the pole, or the branch that you can look at, or the one leaf that you can see on that tree that is changing as we go into spring, and the little buds that are beginning already. So I think first and foremost, our job is just to say, where can I immerse myself in this? And it may also be in our memories. It may be in an experience we had on a red sand beach in Maui, or a moment we had in a snowstorm at Crater Lake, or, it might be a place where we've been in our mind, and can revisit. Maybe we've been there physically or in our mind mentally, and we can revisit it mentally in our mind through a visual practice. So find the way to immerse yourself in nature, your version of it. It can be a plant. It does not have to be a scene from National Geographic, right? And then what we're doing is just noticing it. We're just noticing, wow, look at how that rock shifts from this color to that color. We introduce curiosity. Gosh, I wonder, for example, for me yesterday, I went and did this practice, and I noticed the bluebirds returned. And that's always such a spectacular time for me as a gardener. And rather than just going, oh, I see them, they're beautiful, I thought, what does this signify? Where do they go in the winter? Who's blue in a bluebird colony? Like, is it the male and the female? Is it just one? Is it just the other? What does it mean to me? Where do I feel that excitement in my body? I get excited every year by the bluebirds or the robins when they return. And just noticing those details. And what you'll notice just as I'm describing this is I'm landing in the moment that is right in front of me, that is present, which is one of the hardest things for our minds and our brains to do, right? We're in the future, all the to-dos, all the things that have to get done. We're in the past, thinking about how it could have been, should have been, what we could have done differently, or how that could have been different. And so when we drop ourselves in nature, notice it and get curious about it, we're present, we're mindful. So we're going to use a practice this morning. I'm going to guide you through that. You can go to a place in your mind. You might have a picture available to you. I have a screen saver over here that I have on my desk. That's this beautiful place we went to a couple years ago in the Navajo Nation. And, it's beautiful. It's wild. It's nature. And so I'm going to use that as I go through the practice. So just pick something natural, nature, and it can be super tiny, like a mushroom that you're focusing in on, or a big, beautiful vista. So you choose. And let's go ahead and get into our practice. You can close your eyes. You can also keep them open, looking at a plant, a picture, a screensaver. Whatever it is, bring that thing into focus through your eyes, through your mind. Just quiet for a moment as you do this work. You might take a moment and just name where you are in your mind. Bring your awareness to things like the temperature. Is there sun, wind? Is it warm? Is it cold? Is it just absolutely perfect? And it's hard to tell where your skin connects with the air. Bring your awareness to any sounds that might be surrounding you in this memory or this place that you're thinking of in nature. The pitter patter of rain. And you hear the ocean waves. Is it just the magic of silence? Notice the visual details, the colors, the textures. Noticing maybe by naming it, describing it. And allowing some curiosity to bubble up. How was this rock formed? How did it get here? How many hands through how many thousands of years have touched this, or am I the first? Allow curiosity just to permeate this process. And it can be about the actual thing you're experiencing, or it can be the way that you're experiencing it. For example, what does this feel like in my body to be part of this landscape? Or to stand next to a tree that is 1,000 years old and is huge, and I'm so tiny. Maybe it's thinking about that raindrop that just touched your cheek and the life cycle of that raindrop and how many places it's been. trickling and filtering through the earth? What waterways has it been in? Evaporation, condensation, rain, fog, breath. And what are the chances that it would land on your cheek? And as you're doing this, kind of rise above and observe your mind and body in this process. What's present for you as you bring your focus into nature? And there's no right or wrong answer, just observing. And before we leave the practice, I also want you to think about, how can you do this more? To create a stronger sense of resiliency and space. How can you do this more? Where are there small pockets of time? Or how do you build this into what you're already doing? And one way that I often invite people to do this is think about when you leave one space and go to another. So maybe you walk out of the grocery store and head towards your car, or you walk from your front door to your car. If you're like me, I'm busy getting my key, or I'm checking it for a quick text from my kids, or I could just take that moment that already exists and just notice something in nature. And take a breath here together as we close our practice. Breathing in, and then a long, slow exhale. And when you're ready, open your eyes and come back together. Thank you for joining me, everyone. Thanks for being here.